Hey there, it's Dan from DNA Farm and Gardens. Thanks for joining me today. It's one of my not normal typical days off. I just happened to get back home late last night, so we're gonna go for a ride today and go pick up some salvage material. I believe there's some building material and possible some scrap metal. So I'm just getting a few things together right now, and then we'll be on our way. I got a slow leak in one of my tires, so I'll take my portable air compressor, or my cordless air compressor, and a spare battery. My garage is not as organized as I'd like it to be. Still trying to clean up some mess from a couple of yard sales or garage sales this year. Oh, what else? Air pump. And the tie downs. Always use extra tie downs. Can always use extra tie downs. No matter where you're going, what you're doing. Alright, it's a chilly, I don't know, 32 degrees, so we're freezing now. But I've got this great, and it's a 2000 Ford F-150. She ain't the prettiest, but it was given to me. Actually, my buddy who I'm going to see today to get all this material from, he just gifted it to me. He had been tired of storing it, and he's going through some hard times, and he's like, hey, you know that old truck I had? I went, yeah. He goes, do you want it? I'm like, sure. He goes, you can do with it as you please. Fix it, drive it, keep it, part it out, or scrap it. Aired up the tires the day we went and got it, put a fresh battery in it, and with a little coaxing, she fired up. Drove it all the way home an hour, one way. Put some fresh gas in it on the way, and she's been running ever since. Problem, no heat, and really bad manifold leak. Currently working on that. I've replaced 3 of the 4 tires, because you sit for 2.5 years, you're going to want tires. I did an oil change on it, and when I opened the hood, the spring on the hood latch had broken. So I went to a local junkyard and got myself a used hood latch for $10, I think, because I pulled the part myself. Then I had an old ladder rack laying around for my other truck. It's too wide for my other truck. It's too narrow for this truck, so I used some treated lumber, 2x6s, free, to accommodate it and make it so it actually fits right. But I'm a little redneck when it comes to building stuff. If I want it built a certain way, or if I want something to work, I'm going to build it to the way that makes sense to me, the easiest and the cheapest normally. But other than that, I got to hook up the trailer and we'll get on the road. All hooked up. Just got to check lights. They weren't working the other day when I used the trailer, so I'm thinking it was just my adapter plug. And if the lights aren't working, not a big deal. It's daytime. They can see my tail lights. So, no lights, so I'll worry about fixing that later on. Just won't be hauling the trailer after dark, which is fine too. But this is kind of how I spend my days off. Either working on something that needs to be worked on. Like I got a couple of projects that I want to do this winter. I want to build a greenhouse on the south side of our garage. I also want to build a lean-to on the west side of our garage, because it doesn't matter. You never have enough storage. And I would like to acquire a 1940s Ford 9N next year. Mostly for plowing the driveway in the winter. Now, I've got a tractor with a snowblower attachment, and I'm going to get a snowblower this Saturday as well. But nothing beats an old tractor. I've always wanted an old Ford 9N, and we don't grow in ground, so I don't need to worry about discs or plows or anything like that for an attachment. I just strictly want it for plowing the driveway, and maybe hauling around a hay wagon during the fall months for the local kids and family and friends and stuff like that. But that's always been a dream of mine, to have an old Ford tractor. So, and for how disposable they are around this area, I can get one fairly inexpensive, and parts are everywhere. So I wanted to take you guys along with me on my trip to where my buddy's working at, where I got all the building materials from and everything. And I didn't realize that it was a house that he was working on. So out of for privacy for the homeowner, I didn't want to record anything. So I just went and I spent some time with a friend of mine, and we talked and shared a few laughs, and loaded up my truck and my trailer with a bunch of stuff that he ripped out of this house that he's working on, and some material that wasn't needed, wasn't able to be returned, stuff like that. So I went and got the stuff, pretty much filled the entire back end of my pickup, and I even had to put some stuff up on the ladder rack. Didn't really need the trailer. The only thing I needed the trailer for was a piece of granite countertop and a bathroom vanity. But I'm glad I took the trailer with me initially. But I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with everything. There's a lot of scrap wood. It's just going to come in handy when I go to build some stuff. And if I need any like small little trim pieces or braces or brackets or anything like that, I did get some old scrap metal, copper tubing or copper piping, and like heat vents, HVAC stuff. Nothing big, just a couple little handfuls. I got a bunch of like cabinet hardware and stuff like that, so that'll all come in handy. I like to keep a menagerie of drawer pulls and handles and stuff like that on hand at all times, because you never know when you're going to need one, honestly. But this vanity that I got, it's really nice. It's this vanity, and I'm going to strengthen it up a little bit. I'm going to enclose the back of it and build a really nice top for it. I'm going to put probably 6 casters on the bottom side. I would say 4, but because it's so long, I don't want it to bow and just be difficult to roll around. Anyways, I need a movable workbench or workspace for when I'm doing woodworking and stuff like that, when I'm building raised beds or plant trellises or whatever it might be on my downtime throughout the winter. And I've been wanting to build one for a long time, but material is expensive. The material that I've been given in the past is just not the right kind of lumber, and I don't want to rip a really nice treated 2x6 or 2x8 just to make a couple 2x4s. So yeah, that's what I'm going to use this vanity for. And it'll be perfect. I can just roll it out of my way, push it up against the wall, use it as a stationary work table, workbench, and then roll it out when I need to just use it for building like a raised bed or a trellis or whatever else I decide to build. So I got some much needed drywall from him. A bunch of 2x4s, some old closet doors, stuff like that. I don't know when I'll use it, if I'll use it, or if somebody else I know can use it. And if that's the case, then I'll just do what he did and I'll just give it away. Until that time, it's likely gonna just go up in the rafters, out of the way. But then again, out of mind, out of sight, or back up, reverse, out of sight, out of mind. I likely won't see it or even think about them for years. But that's all right too. Because honestly, unless they're Christmas or Halloween decorations up in the rafters or like folding chairs, anything that's up there is going to be up there for a while because I likely won't need it. So now I have the pleasure and the fun of having to find a place to put all of this stuff because my garage was already cluttered enough. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off. I'll see you guys a different day. Thanks again. Like, subscribe, comment, follow, share, whatever you want to do. I appreciate it all. Have a good day.